Yes, recording in progress. Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Art of Being You. I am your host, Dania Anastasia, and I would like to welcome you this morning. We are here on Dr. Martin Luther, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And I was inspired this morning to share with you my dream speech, my I have a dream speech, and maybe inspire you to, I don't know, create your own I have a dream speech. And this is something that I'm going to follow up with um, in my 2025 year of make believe theme, right? We are imagining, we are believing, we are becoming different, we are evolving, whether you want to or not. The world is evolving, the world is changing. And I find one of the most amazing things that we get to do is that we get to elevate our own soul's purpose. We get to elevate our own lives in the ways that feel good to us. And so, my dream, big picture dream, my dream is to create a world where we reclaim our authentic selves. We live in harmony in our minds, our bodies, and our spirits, and contribute to a thriving planet and all its beings by healing our cultural conditioning through our own unique gifts and our higher essence. In addition to that, I am on a mission to co create my life and those who believe they can into a masterpiece, one of inspiration, audacity, and unapologetic authenticity. I'm here to challenge the status quo, to believe in the unseen, to stay rooted in my highest truth, no matter what my five senses are trying to tell me. Why? Because I believe in magic. I believe in the power of our imaginations. I believe in myself the way I did as a child before I ever claimed any of the roles that society had for me. I believe in a world where our quirks and truths are not just accepted, but celebrated, where our so called weirdness becomes our greatest strength. And I believe in this so fiercely that I'm dedicating 2025 and probably beyond to the magic of make believe. I'm no longer concerned with what others think of me or how the world insists things should be and what I should be doing. I'm here to build a new world. I'm here to be a part of building a new world, a world of truth, not illusion, a world of kindness and integrity, not coercion and manipulation, a world of abundance for all instead of scarcity, lack, and fear. And you're invited to join me because there's magic in the air, and I refuse to waste another moment waiting for it to show itself. The magic is here, and I'm ready to believe before I see it. And so hang on with me just a moment here. When we go through transitions, when we go through different periods of our life, creating a new chapter in the book of our life, whatever it might be for you, maybe it's a new scene in that movie of your life, right? What we often come up against is all the conditioning that I've been speaking of, right? All the ways that we had to learn to not be ourselves, to not be authentic, and so that we fit in, so that we belong. Well, one of the ways in which we step into a new identity, if you will, into a new chapter of our lives, is that we can't go into this new chapter thinking and believing the same things in the same ways that we did before this new chapter arrived. And so what do? We have to literally reprogram ourselves, okay? Our minds, our bodies are like this intricate, beautiful computer system. You all have computers. You all know what I'm talking about. And every so often, we have to clean out the junk files. We have to clean out the spam from our emails to make space. If technology is teaching us anything, it is about how to care for our space. And we're caring for our space inside today. This is part of my I Have a Dream speech. I have a dream to reprogram myself to the original factory settings, to get rid of all the gunk, to clear the channels for clear, concise communication between me and the divine, whatever that looks like for you. I use words like God, universe, spirit, source, whatever is consistent with and resonant with you, use that. And so I'm going to run through a list of about 45 reprogramming things that I use for myself every single morning. Because what this does is it helps my subconscious, the part of my body, the part of my being that remembers, that has gripped onto and attached itself to old conditionings and patterns. And I'm literally giving my subconscious, my ego, something else to think about. Because the subconscious doesn't know if things are make believe or if they're real. What makes them real is how often you return back to these statements, these thoughts, these beliefs, because a thought is nothing more, or a belief is nothing more than a thought that we keep thinking over and over and over again until it gets embedded into our neural pathways, into our body. And so let's reprogram. Okay. Are you ready? Let's do this. So, what this entails, at least for my practice, that every morning when I wake up, I do my morning thing, grab my cup of coffee or my hot water, and I literally sit and read these out loud to myself. And I'm going to read them out loud to you. So, this is my I Have a Dream reprogramming program. And I totally invite you to hit the pause button, write these down if they resonate with you, and to create your own. Because what I also do is I'll read these throughout the day if I feel stuck, if I feel like I'm being triggered by something, if I, want to get out of a funky mood. I also do them before I go to bed at night because when we sleep, our subconscious is ready to reprogram itself. So give it something to reprogram with instead of worrying about your day, instead of going into victim mode, instead of hoping for a better day tomorrow. You're not actually giving your subconscious something new and different to think about. So let's give it something different to think about. Okay, here we go. Am I inspired or motivated? Inspiration comes from spirit. Motivation comes from ego. If you advance confidently in the direction of your dreams and endeavor to live the life that you've imagined, you will be met with success, unexpected in common hours. It will chase you. Thoreau. Learning how to consciously surrender the ego self of personality to the greater self so that we can become conscious participants in the sacred mystery of life. In reality, it entails the surrender of nothing. surrender of our personality in order to receive the gift of everything, the life of the spirit, which is inspiration. I really, 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 really believe in myself and my dream. You always have a choice. Decide and move forward. And this is a little caveat to this one. We can spend years, decades in traditional ways of talk therapy and never get anywhere. I've experienced that. Years ago, I was seeing a counselor. This was when I lived in Seattle. And we kept rehashing the same story over, and I wasn't getting anywhere. Right. And I promised myself that I'm not a prescription drug taker at all for any reason, because I know my body has a way of healing itself. And I told myself that the minute that this counselor says, we're not getting anywhere, here's a prescription I suggest you take, I'm walking away. And so I did, because it happened. We got to a point where she said, I really don't think I can help you anymore. I think you need to take this. And I said, okay, bye. We always have a choice. You can decide right here, right now, that things will be different. And this is just one of the ways that we can do that for ourselves, is to literally reprogram. And we didn't learn what we learned now by licking it off the grass. We had to have repetition. We had to have someone model that for us. And that's how we learned it. And by any means, I'm not saying that these are your dreams. These are the way you should live your life. But this is what works for me. So if I can inspire you to make your own list and read it every single day, 2 or 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night, then part of my work here is done. Okay. You must be in the frequency of that which you desire and dream of. Nothing else matters. Cultivate present moment awareness. Your role is to get into alignment as often as possible. Do this 1,000 times a day if you have to. This is your work. The courage it takes to leave behind what's not for you anymore is the same courage that will guide you to find your way to what is. Grow, glow, flow, baby. I am a spiritual being having a human experience. The secret to change is to focus all of your energy on not on fighting the old, but on building the new. So like I said, that was from Socrates. You can spend all the time in the world going through all the self-help books, all of the hours of therapy, talking about stuff, and never actually making a change in your life. And so instead of, and this isn't spiritual bypassing, because you're going to have to deal with things eventually. And if you can get yourself into a higher state of consciousness, a higher state of being, to alchemize and to turn all the struggles and pains and triggers into your power, so be it. You don't have to do that right now. The time will present itself when it's ready. So you can decide right here, right now, as you're listening to me, to get out of your own way and change your mind. It's the beautiful thing about us, humans. We have an uncanny way of changing our minds all the time. The only thing that matters is your energy. Your energy is the only thing that matters. I don't care what anybody says. The energy that you bring to a situation, to a conversation, to a project, all that matters. This is one of my favorites. It's all made up. This whole world is all imagining. It's all been imagined. Before it was actually tangible, it was thought about, it was felt about, it was discussed, it was made up. So if everything's made up, let's make up what we want. Let's create what we want to see. Ironically, by embodying the feeling of the thing you think you desire, you often attract the very thing you once thought you needed to create it. Think about that one. Because it's not the feeling you just, it's the feeling that you desire, friends. It's not the thing itself. It's never the thing. We think we want money because it'll help us feel free and abundant and secure. But what we really want is security. What we really want is to feel safe and calm and confident. And those are our natural states of being. The crazy world out there is not your natural state of being. And so if you don't follow your heart, you can't have a relationship with Source, with God. It's impossible. You're joining me a little late. What we're doing here is we're reprogramming our subconscious. Have a seat. If it doesn't align, then it's wasting my time. If it doesn't help me grow, I don't need it. If it doesn't help me glow, I don't see it. And if it don't help me flow, let it go. The louder the ego, the closer and bigger the breakthrough. That one's really fun. I trust the flow of life. I am exactly where I need to be, and everything I desire is on its way to me in perfect timing. Laugh. Laugh, 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 laugh as often as you can, as loud as you can, for absolutely no reason. You know why? Because it disarms the subconscious. It doesn't do. And you are reprogramming. So laugh. There's nothing serious really going on here anyway. We must demonstrate to the universe who we truly are. Believing is seeing, not the other way around. I wonder what magic I will create today. This is one of my favorites from Rainier Maria Rilke. Don't search for the answers which could not be given to you now, because you would not be able to live them. And the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps then, someday far in the future, you will gradually, without ever noticing it, live your way into the answer. Eckhart Tolle is one of my favorite spiritual teachers. Life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. How do you know that this is the experience that you need? Because it's the experience that you're having in this moment. I work for God. I work for Source. I work for the universe. Source, universe, God is my employer. and I receive instructions moment by moment on what to do, what to be, what to create, and what to attract. Throw your soul through every open door. Count your blessings to find what you look for. Turn my sorrow into treasured gold. Nothing anyone does, says, thinks, or feels is because of you. Nothing. Do something different. Open up, release, cry your eyeballs out, bring in new energy. And those, my friends, are some of the ways that we get to reprogram. We get to reprogram our subconscious with whatever you want to feed it. Which one will you feed today? Will you feed the old stagnant patterns of years and decades and eons of conditioning? Or are you going to step forward into a brand new day and create your own I have a dream? I would love, love, love to hear your I have a dream speech. You know how to find me. All the information is in the show notes. And I look forward to seeing you out on the planet, wherever you might be. Cheers.